आज रात की बड़ी खबर। ऑपरेशन ब्लू स्टार के चलते अब पूरे पंजाब में अनिवार्य रूप से कर्फ्यू लगा दिया गया है। जैसे कि सरकार टेररिस्ट को गोल्डन टेम्पल से निकालने का प्रयास कर रही है, आम नागरिकों को बचाने का प्रयास।
Oh no! Oh no! Kuljinder, what do we do? What do we? Kuljinder!
Kuljinder? So, what was it like?
Scary. Yeah, it was very scary. Lot of unknowns, and overall, we were very scared.
So, how exactly did two teenage boys end up getting involved with the infamous 1984 Punjab terrorist attacks?
Well, it really started because of the school final exams.
Attention class. All final exams have been postponed until the chaos settles and it's safe to return to school. With that said, this is your last day of classes.
Oh my gosh! Come on! We just have 2 more exams and then engineering college. Can't they just let us take 2?
Dude, relax. She said postponed, not cancelled.
Yeah, she said postponed until the chaos settles. God knows when that's gonna happen.
It's fine. Besides, all these other people need to take the exams too.
Yeah, but not everyone has a widowed mother and family waiting on them to become a rich engineer. Look, they're still giving exams in New Delhi, right?
Yeah, but what does that have to do with anything?
Just listen, okay? What if we enroll at a university and take the entrance exam now, so we don't have to wait on final exam grades?
I don't know. That seems like a bit of a stretch.
I know it is, but hey, desperate times call for desperate measures. Just give it a thought, okay?
And I did. I gave it a lot of thought. And next thing I knew, we were getting off the train at New Delhi. Since we had no phones, we just showed up at my brother's friend's house. In following days, we talked to multiple universities, and finally, one let us take their entrance exam.
Well, at least it worked out.
Attention passengers, please remain seated. All transportation to and from Punjab has been immediately stopped due to the 24-hour curfew by the Indian government to ensure the safety of all citizens. Please do not leave the Ambala train station. Thank you for your patience and have a great day.
Oh no! Oh no! Kuljinder, what do we do? What do we? Kuljinder!
We waited for 2 days. It was getting crowded as more trains were being stopped at Ambala. Finally, the station announced a single train going to Punjab to take stranded people. We wanted to get back to our families as soon as possible, but that train, it was so full that we couldn't get on it. Luckily, around the same time, we found out about the buses. What are you doing?
Shh! I think I found a way out.
Yeah, 3 p.m., right? Departure from lot 7? Okay. Just make sure there are enough seats.
So the buses took us to Chandigarh, which is by no means closer to the home, but it was a city I was more familiar with than Ambala. When we got there, we went to PGI hospital, where I had been earlier with my dad, and I knew where to get good food, and we deposited our luggage there.
So, where did you guys sleep?
Well, the first night we just slept in the park, and in the morning when we woke up, we found out that there are some potholes in the grass, and we were just lying in those potholes. So the next day we went to my uncle's house and asked to borrow bikes so we can bike back home. Obviously, the rational adult said no to the nearly 100-mile bike ride, and that also in the middle of a government curfew that instructed any officer to shoot anyone outside of their home during the curfew.
Gosh, so what'd you do?
Well, we just decided to start walking. We ended up at a Gurdwara, and that's where we found food and shelter. But one morning at the Gurdwara, Surinder and I heard something very interesting.
Operation Blue Star continues.
All right, boys, I'm going to join them in the main hall for blackjack. You boys join when you're done with breakfast.
Thanks.
The Prime Minister continued by announcing that curfew would be relaxed in certain areas depending on local governments. The Chandigarh government announced that their curfew will be lifted for drivers to make necessary shipment of supplies from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. today. And the Punjab government has decided to lift curfew from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. in Ropar.
What the heck? Why'd you turn it off?
What time did they say?
9 to 10 and 10:30 to 11:30. But that's...
Surinder, we are in Chandigarh right now. That means we have a shot. We can go home.
No, we can't. We don't have any way of getting there that fast. It's already 8.
Okay, maybe not ourselves. But Mr. Diljit and all other truck drivers have supplies they need to ship. We can just ask them for a ride.
Looking back at it now, I still can't believe how we were able to convince Mr. Diljit and 40 other drivers to go to the border with us. Once we got to the border, the police stopped us. Because there was a buffer time between when curfew will be relaxed in Ropar versus when curfew will be placed in Chandigarh. So the truck drivers asked us to hide because we were 2 teenager boys and one wearing a turban, and that's exactly what the recruits for terrorists looked like. Eventually, after some convincing and paying a tip of few rupees, they let us go through.
So, what did you all do after you made it past the border?
Well, we started driving from there, and once we reached the highway, we got up from behind the seats. Mr. Diljit had a shipment of steel that we helped him unload. And after that, we asked him about what's next. But he said he was not going to continue the journey with us. We still had another 100 kilometers to go. So we started walking from there. On the way, we stopped at a Gurdwara at the river banks, and we had lunch there. It was simple, but best food we ever had. So good, me and Surinder still talk about it. When we started walking again, we found an auto rickshaw taxi that gave us ride for a few kilometers. And the rest of the way, we just walked home. When we got there, our parents were so happy to see us. It had been 10 days by now.
Was it worth it?
Yes, it was worth it. Our simple journey, it turned into something much more dangerous and unexpected. But we were determined to reach home to our families. And along the way, we discovered value of our friendship because we always had each other. We wanted to complete our education and get ahead in life. Now I am an engineer and I can provide for my family. So yeah, it was well worth it.
That's an incredible story. Thanks so much for sharing, Papa.
Of course. I love you.